And welcome back. This is Thursday morning, and my name is Don K. Preston. I am the president of Preterist Research Institute of Ardmore, Oklahoma. Hey, before I get started, I need to remind you the Preterist Pilgrim Weekend 2015 is coming up July 16th through the 18th. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. You know, the last few lessons I've been sharing with you from the parables of Jesus, the eschatology of the parables, have focused on how Jesus' parables, rightly understood, completely negates the dispensational view of eschatology. Well, our theme this year at Preterist Pilgrim Weekend is dispensationalism, dangerous or divine. And not only are you going to hear some of the stuff I've been presenting to you, you're going to hear a lot more. This is an incredibly important seminar. So make your plans to be with us. Go to my website, eschatology.org or bibleprophecy.com. See the details there, how to register, get all signed up. We'll see you in July 2015 here in Ardmore. Okay, want to finish up this morning on Jesus' parable of the wicked vine dressers. Notice that Jesus tells this story about the wicked vine dressers who are given charge over the vineyard. Now, the vineyard, folks, according to Isaiah 5, was Israel. The kingdom, if you please. These wicked vine dressers, who had been given charge over the kingdom, abused that privilege. They killed the prophets. Finally, they killed Jesus. Jesus posed the question to the Jews gathered around, when the owner of the vineyard comes, what will he do to those vine dressers? They said to him, he will destroy those wicked men miserably and lease his vineyard to other vine dressers who will render to him the fruits in their seasons. And Jesus agreed with that. Verse 43, the kingdom, remember, that's the vineyard. The kingdom of God will be taken from you and given to a nation bearing the fruits of it. Jesus is not, as some have suggested, Jesus is not saying, well, you know, you particular leaders will be displaced, you will be killed, but it will be the nation of Israel that remains. Old covenant Israel was the kingdom. That kingdom that belonged to Old covenant Israel would be taken from that nation and given to another nation. Now, someone might say at this juncture, well, Preston, you're just preaching replacement theology. No, if you paid careful attention to our last presentation, you will notice that the rejection of Jesus, and therefore the turning of God to the Gentiles, the psalmist, in predicting that rejection, said, the stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. This is the Lord's doing. Pardon me. My friends, one of the most critical things that we can understand about the story of eschatology, the biblical narrative, is that the rejection of the kingdom by Israel was known, foreordained. It was part of God's original plan. Why? Because it was never God's original plan to have only one exclusive nation as the focus of his exclusive covenant relationship. His plan was always that in Abraham and his seed, singular, all nations would be blessed. That singular seed is Jesus. And it was God's original intent that not just the physical lineage of Abraham of one nation, but that all nations would be blessed. And so, while the rejection of Israel was horrific on one level because of the fall of Jerusalem in AD 70 was horrific, catastrophic, and almost unbelievable, Jesus nonetheless called the end of that old covenant nation good news in Matthew 24:14, as he said that the prediction of the impending judgment on Jerusalem in that generation pardon me, this gospel, this good news of the kingdom must be preached into all nations. Why? Because, pardon me, once again, the singular exclusive nation was never intended to be God's exclusive focus forever. The original plan was that that nation would serve its purpose to bring in Messiah. Messiah, the singular seed of Abraham, would then be a blessing to all nations. The eschatology of the parables of Jesus gives us marvelous insight into God's eternal purpose to share the blessings of Abraham with all men. Hey, don't forget now. Don't forget, I've got some really, really fantastic material on the parables. The 2006 Preterist Pilgrim Weekend, the Eschatology of the Parables of Jesus, and the Parables of Jesus, a 32-lesson MP3 series available on my websites. Go there and order one or both. And if you mention that you saw the offer on YouTube or Facebook, I will give you, free of charge, I will include in the shipment, Romancing the Stone, a very special 1-hour presentation on Jesus, the rejected chief cornerstone of the Messianic temple, and the implications of that for eschatology. This is great stuff. Thank you so much for joining me for this morning's morning musings. I hope and pray you have a fantastic weekend. Lord willing, we'll see you on Monday.